I'm here now and I want to help.
What happened?
Don't worry about that.
Engage.
Kapla.
Kapla. Excellent.
Kapla.
Look,
How you all doing? It's a goddamn car show around here tonight.
You're damned right.
Okay, are we about done?
Everybody is in place. It's time for another season of Junkyard Joust, Season 7. Hi, everybody. I'm Aaron Yonda. I'll be your announcer through this entire season, along with maybe a celebrity guest or two. It's become a tradition for the SuperCrashers to have an audition of sorts. 35 vehicles will compete. The last 5 remaining will become the new SuperCrashers team for the season. The Junkyard's had a couple improvements this season. Got a brand new height meter. It just appeared one day. Nobody knows where it came from. The Junkyard Joust lawsuit was finally settled. They were slapped with a lot of fines and told to put about 30 warnings on their product. Now everybody knows when you drink Junkyard Joust, you're taking your life into your own hands. Maybe that's what their slogan should be.
What's wrong with your brain?
Evil Weevil is on the track, sponsored by Track Buffer LLC. So here we go, round 1, SuperCrashers Invitational, the Formula 1 starting us off, sponsored by Judy Collins. The SuperCrashers could use an undercutter, but we'll see if it survives. Here comes the Mercury Cougar, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. I'd like to thank all my patrons, and here's hoping that your sponsorship goes all the way this season. Next up, Turbo Fury, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. This thing looks like Blue Shark, except it's got big turbo jets in the back. Nice hit there that pushes Formula 1 curbside. Maserati Bora, sponsored by Sean's Toy Room. Maserati slams into the line, gets a little action, pushes Formula 1 off. Cougar goes up. The Jaguar XX120, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. Bang! Looks like the Mercury Cougar is our first elimination of the season. Upside down or sideways at the end of the round means you are out. I don't see the Cougar coming back from that. Skip Truck, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Skip Truck slides into place, goes curbside. We'll see if that little gate on the back of the truck does anything. The Peugeot Quasar, sponsored by Dr. Gonzo. Quasar slams into the skip truck and it flips over, goes sideways. Jaguar is definitely close to out right here. Good hit by the Quasar. Could be a promising car. Next up, we've got a bright pink Ford Capri, sponsored by Sicken. The Capri boosts the Quasar underneath the Bora. No eliminations, but a lot of jumbled up cars on the track right now. The Porsche 944, sponsored by Jedi. Massive explosion by the Porsche. The Capri goes right over. Bora manages to recover, and so do the rest of the cars that were involved in that incident. Solid hit by the 944. The Matra Rancho, sponsored by the Miskatonic Automotive Club. The Matra pops the Porsche. We've got a team of Porsches coming up later this season, voted on by everybody in the comments. Maxi Taxi, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. The Maxi Taxi gets enough oomph to knock Turbo Fury on its side, and the Rancho goes upside down. 2 eliminations on that hit. Nice job by the Maxi Taxi. Turbo Fury is no Blue Shark. Citroen CX up now, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. The Citroen bashes Maxi Taxi into the Porsche. Porsche goes flopping off the track upside down and out. Badger, 66 grams, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Badger hits the line, not able to do much, and starts to slide off the track. Maxi Taxi tries to escape into the safety area. Clipper, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Clipper tries to take out Badger. Badger does not stand for it. Stays right side up for the moment. Fandango, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Fandango gets under Clipper. Clipper gets tossed off the track, shunted over, but it stays right side up and balanced. Ferrari Testarossa, sponsored by Regal Radio. The Ferrari slips underneath Fandango. Fandango keeps it level and on the track, safe for the moment. Lincoln Continental, sponsored by Chome. Another team that'll be in this season is Bat Mobility, won out by 1 vote over Aquaman. The Porsche Turbo, sponsored by Farty Marty. Another team that won in voting is the Micro Machines team, so we're gonna have a Micro Machines team. That'll be fun. Next up, the VW W12 concept car, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Solid hit by the concept car, and the Porsche goes over. The Citroen goes up, but manages to stabilize. Concept car's locked in. Next up, the Chevy van, sponsored by Pick Your Sticker. Pick your sticker, mister. Big hit by the van. Fandango goes over. The Continental goes sideways. 2 eliminations. Nice hit by the Chevy. Wildlife Truck, sponsored by Ripash. Bam! The VW concept car has made it all the way up to the front, and that's where it ends up knocking the Citroen over and out of this competition. BMW M1, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Nowhere to go for the BMW, and a line starts to form. 57 Thunderbird, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Soylent Green will also be in this season. They beat out the Sunrunners with your voting. Road Dragster, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Road Dragster slots into place. That line's getting long. Something's gonna break soon. Maybe Planet Scout can bust that line, sponsored by G-Zeus. Planet Scout knocks Road Dragster up and over. Road Dragster with a nice recovery. 62 Corvette, sponsored by Judy Collins. Corvette pops Planet Scout off the track but cannot take it down. Next up, the Kenworth Cabover Racing Transporter, 92 grams, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Transporter sends Planet Scout spinning off the track, but Planet Scout stays steady. Something broke off there, I think maybe off of the Transporter. Piece of bumper or something. Now we'll see if the rear of that Transporter is going to cause any problems for cars coming down. The Taxi FX4R, sponsored by Ripash. The Taxi runs over the back of the Transporter, almost escapes the track completely, stays steady and alive. VW Golf GTI, sponsored by Sicken. The Golf goes off the back of the Transporter and flips over, upside down and out. Bit of a belly flop there. Looks like the back of that Transporter is going to be a hazard for vehicles. The Freeman Intercity Commuter, sponsored by Sauce Automotive Sachet and Buffet. The Commuter goes flying off the back. The Transporter flips around, cannot make a landing, almost would have, but the Taxi got in the way, and that thing is done. Mini Ha-Ha, sponsored by Reaper EOD. Mini Ha-Ha does not go off the back of the Transporter, keeps it steady, keeps it locked in. Not a particularly safe place to be, however. Swamp Commander, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hangar. Swamp Commander boinks off a Mini Ha-Ha and stays on the track as the line creeps back further. Speedboat, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Speedboat knocks Swamp Commander off the track upside down, instant elimination, nice poking hit there. Speedboat declaring Boatly Dominion. The Lotus Super 7, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. The Lotus knocks that boat off the track. Boat keeps alive. Looks like that thing's going to be pretty promising. Final car of the round, Sunburner, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Sunburner takes a shot at the Lotus Super 7. It goes up but does not go off, stays in the match for now. Looks like we're going to lose 14 out of the 35 competitors in this match. 14 vehicles that will not be on the SuperCrashers team. 21 cars still in the match. Hope one of your favorites is still alive. Here we go, round 2, starting off with the Road Dragster. Registration for the second custom joust is now open. More on that in a couple minutes. The Taxi gets in a little scrap with Road Dragster, and they are both in not ideal positions. The Lotus Super 7 attempts a takedown, but botches the opportunity, and both cars are surviving for the moment. 62 Corvette attempts to finish the job, and the Taxi is knocked over and out. Road Dragster makes a nice recovery. Big hit by the Kenworth Cabover, knocks the Lotus upside down, and sets up its back barrier / jump. Badger hits it and quits it, goes straight upside down and is out. The SuperCrashers is saying to themselves, we don't need no stinking Badgers. The Bora makes a clumsy attempt to survive the transporter, and I'm not sure it worked out. That's looking pretty sideways to me. Clipper does a much better job of surviving that hit and finishes Bora off. Minnehaha locks it in and builds that line. A promising hit by the speedboat as it hits Minnehaha, immediately turns sideways and escapes the track. The BMW attempts to break the line, but no such luck, just forces its hood up. A quality takedown by the W12 concept. BMW goes over upside down, and Minnehaha is curbside. Another big bash by the Chevy van. VW concept gets knocked out of commission. Minnehaha stays around. The Maxi Taxi squeezes Minnehaha off the track, does a little damage to the rear end of Clipper. No eliminations there. Ooh, a nice takedown by the Quasar. Maxi Taxi tossed around. Chevy van is in trouble. And the wildlife truck finishes off Maxi Taxi, pushes Quasar a little farther under the van. Doesn't look good for the van right now. Sunburner pushes Quasar back onto the track, and the Chevy van is gone. Quasar starts making its way up to the front, but I don't think it's going to get past the transporter. Planet Scout almost goes up on top of Sunburner. The Ferrari Testarossa locks it in. Formula One undercutting action, tries to get under the Testarossa, gets about halfway there. The Testarossa survives the hit from the 57 Thunderbird, and now the undercutter is being undercut as Planet Scout settles back in. And they will all survive round 2. Looks like 8 vehicles will not be joining us for round 3. That'll take us down to 13. Let's take a look at who's left. Things are starting to shape up for a new SuperCrashers team. Some very promising vehicles here. Would you like to enter a team in the Junkyard Joust? Well, the new custom tournament has started. The sign-up link is in the description. We had some amazing teams in the first custom tournament. Numbskull won first place, and his team will be returning to defend their title. So click that link and go check out all the rules and make a team and send it. You've got about a month and a half to do it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody comes up with for the custom tournament. Speedboat starting us off now for round 3. Speedboat, wow, what even was that? Catapults off of the track buffer and goes somewhere. Looks like outside the fence. Didn't even knock the fence over on the way there. It landed right side up, and it's gonna make it to the next round guaranteed. SuperCrashers, by the way, were eliminated in round 3 of the main event. I have a feeling whatever team gets created here today is going to do a little bit better for them, hopefully. The Testarossa knocks the Corvette just about sideways and off the track. Thunderbird tries to hang on. A bruising hit from the transporter clears the track and eliminates the Corvette. The Ferrari and the Thunderbird survive. Oh, this time around, Clipper cannot handle the back of the transporter and flips off the back, points straight towards the sky, and then tumbles off out of this match. The Quasar has better luck with the back of transporter, just bounces off of it a little bit. Minnehaha goes curbside and is vulnerable. The Sunburner takes down Minnehaha, but also takes itself out in the process. It's still on the track, but that does not look promising. Formula One slides underneath Sunburner. The Quasar is going off. Boom! The wildlife truck gets a double elimination. Would have been a triple if Sunburner hadn't already been eliminated. Nice hit there by the wildlife truck. That thing has got a future. Planet Scout bumps into the wildlife truck. It goes up on top of the transporter, stays steady for now. Sunburner definitely out. Road Dragster hustles the Planet Scout off the track and slots in. And that was the final car of round 3. We've got 6 eliminations in that round. Almost half of the remaining cars. 7 cars left. Those were the eliminated cars. These are the ones that remain. We just need 2 more eliminations, and we've got our team. Round 4, here we go. Planet Scout starting us off. I'm gonna go ahead and predict that the boat and transporter are both moving on unless something weird happens. Nothing weird there, but the boat didn't escape the track, surprisingly. And a big hit from the transporter takes out Planet Scout, and the boat makes a fantastic landing. No problem for that boat. There's one of our eliminations. Road Dragster handles the transporter fairly well. The Testarossa piles into the Road Dragster. Road Dragster looking a little vulnerable here up on the back of the transporter. And the hit from Wildlife Truck takes down the Road Dragster. That Wildlife Truck is a nasty one. All the remaining cars have to do is survive, and they are the team. Thunderbird makes the final hit, and we've got our new SuperCrashers team for Season 7 of Junkyard Joust. 2 vehicles eliminated. We might bring some of them back to try this again next season. And so round 4 ends, and this is our new team. Congrats to all 5 of our winners. They're going to join the illustrious SuperCrashers team, and we will be watching their progress with interest. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week for the start of Season 7. And don't forget to go sign up and send a team or 2 for the Junkyard Joust Custom Tournament. Link in the description. Cheers!